I bet on myself.
Yeah, I bet on myself. Yeah, I bet on myself. I don't need you, I do it myself. Yeah, I bet on myself.
I bet on myself. I bet on myself.
Yeah, I bet on myself. Okay, dream so big that they think I'm crazy. Let out the beast, no, they can't tame me. Don't play with me, better mind your business. I cannot stop now, I ain't finished. I'ma keep on going till I got that. Okay, the way that I'ma do it, they can't top that. No way. Critics trying to hate, but I don't talk back, I know that. Plotting on the kid with the bull, tell him all that. I'm the one that I'm a gambler.
Good morning and welcome to For Fantasy's Sake, the Quad City's first and only fantasy football show. We are part of the For Frequency's Sake podcast network, which is presented by Durham Remodeling, Ryan Allison Tattoo, and Jared Zook, Country Financial. For Fantasy's Sake is presented by Clint's Draft House Pizza and Grill. I am your host, Doug Green. As always, I am joined by my two guys over here. We have Dan Hancock and Joe Winkle. Brian Craighead may be along today. We are not entirely sure. But if he does, we will certainly welcome him with open arms. All righty, boys. Let's see what we've got on the agenda for this morning. All right, so we've got a little buy and sell segment. We might as well open it up with the good stuff. Buy or sell Josh Allen. Danny, I can't hear you.
Mute button. Good start. We're off to a blazing start.
This dog in the background making me mute every 5 seconds.
Don't blame the dog for you not knowing how to handle technology, bro.
You know what? Last week was worse. I was ready for it and I was muted. I'm buying Josh Allen. I think I noticed it a lot last year toward the end of the year when the new offensive coordinator took over that when they focused on the run game, Josh Allen seemed to be able to play a little bit more comfortably because now it's such a mix in their offense. You don't know if the ball's going to cook or if they're going to throw it. I think today's really going to be a test how they play against Baltimore. But a Monday night game against Jacksonville, and you just pretty much took the whole team out by yourself. I'm buying in on him.
Yeah, I'm buying as well. I think say what you want about the Bills and their yearly September championships and Josh Allen's yearly September MVPs. I mean, he's been the best player so far in the league. So, am I buying the bill? Like, are we buying Josh Allen as a fantasy quarterback? Absolutely. As a regular quarterback, absolutely. So yeah, I think that one's pretty simple. I don't think anything they're doing is not sustainable, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Buy. Start your Gordon.
In sync where your dirty dishes are. Wait, what?
Wife is doing the dirty dishes as we speak.
Hell yeah.
Because I got tired of doing it. All right, next up, the Terminator himself, James Conner.
I'll buy. His points per game over the last couple of years have been really good. And I think, too, that the only thing that you would worry is if he gets injured. And today they're playing a very bad defense. So I think those numbers for him will continue to do well. And I love everything this Arizona offense has done so far through 3 weeks. I loved what they were last year. They have been everything that I had hoped that they would be as we are early in the season. Even though they're 1-2, I expected them to be a fun, energetic team that had an awesome offense and a tough defense, bad defense, because they just don't have good players on that side of the ball yet. That's where they're at in their process. But so far for Connor, I think what he's doing is sustainable as long as he stays healthy. So yes, buy.
I'll buy, but I'm not going to buy too high on him, mainly just because I think with the way the way the Cardinals have been passing lately, I think they're going to be going more pass heavy, which could see him in a decrease of run. And also, we're getting close to Kyler Murray's annual Call of Duty premiere, and then all of a sudden he sucks for 10 weeks. So I really want to see what's going to happen once they can kind of get a bit more competitive games underneath them.
That's fair. I am a Connor homer, so I will say I will buy that as well. All right. Next up is Deontay Johnson.
I'm going to hold. If Dalton stays the quarterback the rest of the year, I'm buying because that's been his top target. If they go back to Bryce Young and give him another shot this season, then I'd sell just because Bryce Young likes to check down more than the deep shot.
Yeah, I would. I don't think Bryce Young will play again this year, so I think I'd buy it. But he's hurt today, so if you're talking about today, you'd sell it. He's questionable; he might not play today, which will suck for them because that would mean both of their top targets are out. So, if that is the case, Danny just out here drinking a Pepsi out of the bottle at 10 o'clock in the morning. I guess it's 11 o'clock where he's at, so it's
I've also been
more,
up since 3, so
it's a little more acceptable for that guy. But yeah, I think I would sell slightly, but I mean I don't know. It's tough because he will probably have good numbers with Dalton, but he's not going to play today. I would maybe snare Xavier Legette off waivers today if you're feeling frisky because maybe
Tommy
not
Tremble.
play him, but just hold it because they're playing the Bengals, whose defense is bad, and there's a chance Thielen's already not playing, and Deontay Johnson might not play. So we'll see.
Yeah, I avoid all Panthers in this situation, in any situation. So I would say I am selling that. Also, Danny drinking pop this early takes us back to the early days of For Fantasy's Sake when it was just me, DJ, and Nate on the back deck of Kavanaugh's, and I would roll in with a pop the size of Joe's head. And
listen, I have a test tomorrow. I am getting off of this show and studying for the next 10 hours, so I'm going to need as much caffeine as possible.
Yes, always good to caffeinate yourself. All right, next up, I'm going to guess this is Jawan Jennings. I'm not sure how to say that first name.
It's Jawan.
Okay.
I think might be misspelled there, but yes, Jawan Jennings. This is a tough one because God, he's really good, and like their offense, it just it doesn't matter who's out there; they find ways to produce stuff. And last week, with everybody injured, Purdy was really good, and Jawan Jennings went absolutely insane. I think the right answer, though, is to hold. I know that's not technically in the title, but since Danny did it, I'm going to do it because the problem is, yes, did he have – look at that, Danny. TJ's on you. Out here, he's studying for NC Dubs. The problem is – there you go. The problem is that if guys are healthy, he doesn't get as many targets. He's still targeted, but you cannot rely on him to be anything too close to what he was last week. Now, this week they play New England. There is a chance that he could, not, I wouldn't say replicate it because he had like 1,000 targets and he had like 12 catches last week for 150 yards and 3 touchdowns. He scored like 40. He's played one game where he was their number one receiver, and he's like the wide receiver 3 in fantasy because he had like in PPR he had like 48 points last week. So that's obviously that's not replicable, but just in general, as long as guys are out, I would probably say buy because he will be their target and Brock loves throwing to him. But Debo, I think, is going to play today. So that'll lower his target rate. And the more guys come back, they'll get Ayuk back, they'll get Kittle back. He just becomes more of a third down guy. So that's where you start to lose, the juice with him. But as long as guys are out, he definitely gets work because Purdy likes throwing it to him.
I'm gonna buy this week. I'm gonna sell long term. I don't think, especially with the defense like New England's, I don't think they're going to rush Debo back into his normal role. I think he's gonna take a week or two. So I think they're gonna kind of grind it out and then air one downfield for him. I think if you're doing DFS, I think he's a good pickup at the end for to get like like one or two long bombs, but that's about it.
I'd say I'm going to go ahead and buy low if I can get a bargain, but otherwise I'm probably letting him go at that point. All right, last but certainly not least, DJ's not on the show, but he still contributes in ways behind the scenes. Is Dallas Goedert.
I'm gonna buy this week. I think a lot of people are expecting him to have a big week. I know betting wise, he's got the highest line of any receiver. If you're not getting him, I think Covey is a good like sleeper pick at the end there because everyone kind of expected Jahan Dotson to pick up a lot of targets, but Hurts has really been going towards Covey towards the end last week. So I'm buying in on Goddard just because that's going to be his only real target today that he's confident in.
Yeah, absolutely. I would buy it. And he's good regardless. Like he's usually one of the, better tight end options. I know tight end has been very weird this year. It has been very weird, very wonky. But I think regardless, he's tight end one, obviously, because he had 32 points last week. But so you obviously would buy that today because everyone's out and he will definitely get a lot of looks. And even long term, I think, in the first two games, he had 9 points and 8 points in PPR. So he's still viable, and so yeah, I think he's an absolute buy.
Daniel
already went.
Oh, Douglas. Yeah, I think I'm buying him as well. He's generally somebody I think is fairly reliable in terms of production year over year. So he's somebody I'm looking at buying. All right, we are going to try something new this week. We are going to go ahead and try and take a couple of questions early off the top, just because we got so many here in the last couple of weeks. We want to make sure that everybody gets some equal face time. So we will start kind of up here at the top. We'll handle a couple of questions, maybe per segment, as we go through this. Lydia's not here at the top. What is she doing? She's still in bed, man?
No, she said she's going to lose anyway because she's playing you, so she's not even trying this week.
Okay. All right. So first up is
He heard me.
it's Brandon. Morning, fellas. I need to flex one of these guys, Kelsey or Braylon Allen. I'm thinking Kelsey's probably the no-brainer here, right? Or is that just my noob opinion?
I'm going to flex Allen here. I think I know the run game's kind of destroyed in Kansas City, but they're like Mahomes said, they've been really tight on Kelsey. I don't think it's going to stop here. I think it's going to be a Rashee Rice game in Kansas City.
And they play the Chargers. Yeah, like the thing is, like Kelsey, I don't know, man. It's tough.
Kelsey either gives you 20 or 2.
I would probably flex him just because do you want to risk starting a backup running back? But Allen is getting touches, so I don't know. It's very tough. I will say Kelsey and just on the sake of, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Not just touches, but the Broncos have like the 5th worst running defense in the NFL. I mean, we saw Rashad White and Bucky Irving kind of have solid games last week. So I think we're going to get like a ground pound game today. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I'd say Kelsey if you're looking for something for the floor there. All right, and then next up is Richard. With so many injuries happening, I'm left with Javonte Williams and Charbonnet. Which one of should I start in a PPR league?
Take a shot every time Doug gets a name wrong. PPR, I would say Charbonnet. The Broncos' running game is awful. Javonte Williams is cooked. Charbonnet's the easy answer.
Yeah, I'm going Charbonnet too, just because I think the Javonte Williams era, while it has not started, I think it's over. We saw McLaughlin get majority of the snaps last week when they were passing and a good heap of run plays. So I think Javonte is going to slowly be phased out by the end of the season.
All right, that'll do it for this segment. We will take a quick commercial break. On the backside, we will play a little roster game.
For frequency's sake, has you covered on all things sports. From the squared circle to the hardwood and the gridiron to the speedway, we've got something for everyone. Walk down the aisle with the boys from Cards Subject to Change every Sunday as they take a deep dive into everything pro wrestling. Head on over to the hardwood with Doug Green and Watching the W each week for all the news from the WNBA. Want more insight from Pit Row? Check out the Green, White, and Checkered podcast where they give their insight on everything happening on and off the track. Need your gambling fix? We've got you there. Dan Hancock and Gotham Gambling will help you cover the spread with the Golden Ticket Show. Football more your style? Explore the waters of NFL DFS with DFS Deep Dive with Brian Craighead and Jordan Kernan each week. More into the science portion of the game? The Professor John Bush and Dennis Michelson take you into their science lab and dissect your week in the data lab. Need to know who to start last minute? The network's flagship show, For Fantasy's Sake, is here in a pinch. The fellas come to you live every football Sunday from 10 to 11:30 Central with the week's best DFS, gambling, and lineup advice. And wrap up your Sundays with Joe Winkle and Nick Brinks as they come to you live with educated ignorance looking at all the day's action. Not enough football on Sunday? Not a problem. Kick your feet up at lunch on Monday and slip into the football lounge with Mark and Dan while they look at the week that was in news, notes, and more. For frequency's sake, you know what we mean.
All righty. Before we jump into our game, the aforementioned Miss Lydia did show up. And I thought she asked an interesting question. I want to see what you guys' kind of opinions are on this before we jump into our roster game. So what do we think about CMC not coming back for another month, and how does this affect the 49ers?
Well, I mean, she's asked me this twice this morning. That's the crazy thing. I think it's going to be tough. I mean, you look at their schedule; they got the Chiefs, Cowboys, and the Cardinals coming up after this week. But on the other side of it, when he comes back, he'll come back on a bye week. They'll give him a week to get adjusted, and then they play the Buccaneers, who have a pretty terrible run defense. So I think that's a good matchup for him to start back with. I could see them maybe going 2-2, at worst case 1-3 in those games. So I think they're just kind of, luckily the division's like awful this year in the NFC West. So I think they're just kind of holding on until he comes back.
Are we sure that he's going to come back? He went to Germany. I know Kobe Bryant went to Germany, and everyone, that's the gimmick. But he went to Germany to get his Achilles checked and whatnot. Like, are we sure he's coming back? Because if I had to bet, will CMC play again this year? Or will, I don't know. You can think of another thing for what I would pick. But I would probably pick that McCaffrey's not going to play the rest of the year. I think there's a better chance of that happening than not happening, if that makes sense. And
once they go to Europe, it's usually a bad sign.
Yeah, because, or worst case, there's these things never happen like, hey, he's going to be back. Hey, guys, remember, these things never happen linearly. It started off as, hey, he's week to week. He's day to day. Then it was week to week. Then it was, he's a game time decision for week 1. Then he's going to miss week 1. Then he goes on IR. He'll be back right after the IR session. Now he's going to go to Germany. He'll be back in a month. That'll turn into, he'll be back in December to gear up for the playoffs. And then it'll turn up. Maybe he'll start in the first round of the playoffs if they make the playoffs, just throwing that out there. And then it turns into he's probably not going to play the entire season. So just be prepared for that.
Yes, and as somebody who spent a first overall pick on him, not happy. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. Because that's basically where he went, 101 or 102. So you're basically SOL at this point.
Isn't that like the third consecutive year now? The guy who is the consensus first pick has gotten like a major injury. It was Jonathan Taylor, Justin Jefferson, and now CMC. So the first spot I think is just cursed. I would just trade my pick now if I get number 1 overall next year.
Danny, I think your headset mic shut off, but yeah, I agree. That is weird. Yeah, if you get 101, just like, nah, guys, I'm good.
If he's the
Like, I will pay
101
you.
Yeah,
if he's
exactly.
101 and on the Madden cover, he's pretty much dead by the end of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kidnapped. He's being like, like he's just being trafficked to Siberia, and we've got him on milk cartons and him with, send me money signs, like help me, pay the ransom.
All right, let's take a look at a game. And of course, the thing that came up, oh, yes, allow for 1 month, go away, was friggin' DJ. We have a Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce question. I don't know how he jerry-rigged this, but here it is. So, must have been an NFL teammate of Travis Kelce. All career stats will count, even while on other teams, you can't pick Travis Kelce.
Must have been a teammate of Travis Kelce. That's it. What's
That's
the
it.
Taylor Swift connection? Oh, it's just Taylor's better half. That's stupid. All right, so this should be easy. Mahomes, Jamal Charles, Tyreek Hill.
Mahomes, Jamal Charles is Tyreek. All right, so who's the second best tight end?
That's played for the Chiefs since he's been there.
It's obviously Noah Gray, right?
God, no, I'm trying to think of if they had anybody.
Was Tony Gonzalez still there when
he
Kelce
was in
hurt?
Atlanta by then, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How good was Dwayne Bowe as a fantasy guy?
He was all right.
Because I'm thinking he should be the flex. Unless you want to. Man, that's a great question. No. Who was another running back they had that was actually good? Jerick McKinnon, Damian Williams. Kareem Hunt, LOL.
Who's playing this week? I don't get, but okay.
It is. Pacheco Loki's actually been a good fantasy running back for what it's worth. I think Dwayne Bowe should be the flex. And yeah, put Noah Gray as a tight end. Just see what happens. I can't think of another tight end for them. Like in
AY
the
or EY?
EY, I think. Or AY, yep. DJ's
like
probably
Tony
watching.
Moyaki or something.
DJ's watching this and he's just thinking, you guys are idiots. How do you not remember this person? And I just can't think of who could have been the tight end when Kelce first got there with Alex Smith or another guy outside of Dwayne Bowe.
All right.
But I think the first three, easy money. The last two, I have confidence that Bowe is going to be a good one. Gray is going to be terrible. I don't know who else we could have had here.
Yeah, Gray was bad.
I knew Bowe would be a good pick.
right.
Jamal Charles, only a B. Who would have been better?
Shady.
Shady.
Damn it. Damn.
Anthony Fasano.
Fasano. And Le'Veon Bell.
Oh yeah, shit. Le'Veon Bell was on the team. He got signed by them second half of the year.
He played like one game, didn't he?
Yeah, I think I remember him being their running back like in Denver. Like a couple years ago. It was like snowing. These are random just things I remember because I'm a sick person. Not literally because I'm sick today, but because I am disgusting. He played in, I don't know if it was the only game he played, but I'm trying to remember what year it was. It was a few years ago. Now that I can think about it, I forgot about that. But yeah, Bill definitely. I remember the game that I remember a game he played on the Chiefs.
Wait. The quarterback wasn't Mahomes.
Oh shit!
Was it Alex Smith? That's what
Yeah.
that's my other thought was because he was
That's crazy town.
Wait, what was the point differential between them though? Like go back to Mahomes.
Close. It was in the 20.
Yeah, it's like wait, go back. Yeah, it's
200.
100 points off. So if we did this in like week 10 this year, I think we would be Mahomes now.
That's wild. Okay.
The more you know.
I guess. All right. Now, how do we change to a different game?
You want to do another one of these? You want to bang out some more questions?
Yeah, because we got a decent amount here.
We got more
That's
coming
me.
in. All right.
That's me telling Doug that we should bang out some more questions, even though Doug's
All
the
right.
boss.
Hey, I'm down for the questions. We like the questions.
Joe just
Questions.
slowly gets removed.
Yeah. Help me,
All right. Ooh, let's do it.
Mr.
Defense.
Mr. Jarvis. I don't feel so good.
In no universe is DJ Iron Man or Spider Man. All right.
Well, if he's Iron Man, then you're Captain America. Just saying.
I do have a better ass than him. Ray Gamer wants to know: start the Vikings defense versus the Packers, the Saints defense versus the Falcons, or the Titans defense versus the Dolphins. Also, start one in standard: Ayuk, Jennings, or Deontay Johnson, 6 points per TD.
I'm going first here. First off, shout out to Ray Gamer here for asking us a question about defenses. He is a real American. Also, we need more questions about kickers in this league, in these chats. I know no one holsters two kickers, so you can't be like, should I start Kyami Fairbairn or the guy who was kicking in Ace Ventura, Laces Out Dan or whatever. But anywho, start Vikings or Saints. Oh, Titans defense versus the Dolphins. That's the one I would start. You just got to hold your nose and do it, because I think I even picked up the Titans defense in the league that I'm in, because I've been streaming defenses in that one. And yeah, that's a juicy one. And then the last one, Ayuk, Jennings, or Deontay Johnson. I don't think Ayuk's playing today. This is like play who's gonna be healthy. I would play Jennings because for a fact he's playing, and Ayuk I'm pretty sure is definitely out. Unless I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, someone tell me. And Johnson is questionable.
I think I would say give it 30 minutes before kickoff. And if you haven't heard a word about Deontay Johnson, just go ahead and go with Jennings. Because if Deontay Johnson plays, he's getting 15 plus targets again.
That is true. That's a good point.
This is the Andy Dalton revenge game.
No Thielen.
No Thielen. If Deontay Johnson is playing, whether he's healthy or not, they're throwing him the ball 20 times a game.
Excellent. And all right. We'll take one more before the break. I'll be the guy who pushes us over today.
Hell yeah, right. Doug. Let's go. Welcome back. Way to live a little.
CZG average. PPR, Roschon or Javonte Williams, then Ridley or Kirk, then one more, Juwan Jennings or Xavier Legette.
Between Roschon and Javonte, I'm going to go Javonte just because the Jets' run defense has just not been there except for last week. I'll go Kirk here because Doug Peterson's job's on the line this week. They're going to come out strong this week, I think. And I'm going to go Xavier Legette here. I think everyone knows now to guard Deontay Johnson now that Andy Dalton's in, and Legette should get a decent amount of catches.
I am going to say Juwan Jennings over Leggett, even though, that's a smart move to have Leggett and holstered because this could be a week maybe, but I think Jennings is probably a little safer as long as, no Ayuk and Kittle. And then Roschon Johnson, CZG average. You know what you are? You are a smart person. You're the smartest person in your league.
He's above average.
Who on earth would holster a Bears running back when they've had historically one of the worst rushing seasons to start in league history? But you watch the Bears closely, and you understand that Roschon Johnson's their best running back. And they have come out and said they're going to give him more touches today. I think Roschon Johnson might have a massive game today. I would start Roschon Johnson.
CZG average is secretly Joe's Finsta account.
That's my burner.
No. This is CZ's burner account. You just can't get past the CZ part.
Yeah.
He's just been sandbagging us this whole time, going wrestling. But it's really
he's actually competing with Matthew Berry for top.
Yeah, like in his room, it's all wrestling. But then when everybody leaves, he's like, "Finally, those nerds are gone!" And he hits a button, and all the real walls come down, and it's football stuff. And he rips his wrestling shirt off to have like a Dan Marino jersey or some shit.
He's got like a 7-day long timer for red zone going in the corner.
Yeah, exactly.
Make sure you watch Card Subject to Change tonight and their kickout show. Whenever on the random occasions that those also happen as well. So for Mr. Average or Miss Average here, for CZG, I will take Roschon. I will take actually Ridley, and then I will take Juwan Jennings this week. That is my recommendations. All right, that will take us to the end of this segment. We're going to do some flex, marry, kill on the other side. As soon as I remember where the commercials are. There we go.
Serving the Quad Cities area since 1973. And with over 50 years of excellence on their track record, you'll see why it's so easy to trust their experts when it comes to all of your home improvement projects. This family-owned business has you covered on all your needs. Protect your home or building from the elements today and get great roof repair services. Need new windows? No problem. Durham Remodeling can upgrade your windows and doors. Whether you want to upgrade the little details in your home or office, or want to tear a room down and start fresh, the expert contractors at Durham Remodeling have your back. Even the smallest changes can completely transform your space. Ready to start entertaining your friends for backyard barbecues? Durham Remodeling will help you plan, design, and build your deck and patio for the perfect outdoor space. Durham Remodeling's work is 100% guaranteed, so you can rest assured that you're getting the best service around. Call 309-786-6715 today for your free estimate for all your roofing, siding, flooring, windows, and painting needs. That's Durham Remodeling, 309-786-6715.
Every week I hear Brixie do that, and all I hear him say is roofing. I don't know why. It always seems funny to me. Also, DJ's trying to get rid of you.
I thought we traded Danny to the Wolves with Julius Randle. Yeah, Danny, how sad are you that your boy is gone? Just really quick, in 30 seconds or less.
Right.
In 9 seconds or less.
Y'all need to know the 24 hours I've had in New York with all my friends. Like, bro, Julius Randle ads are all, like, his Sketcher ads are, like, at my train stop. Like, there's 3 of them, right? The Knicks promo ad for season tickets in Times Square is Julius Randle. Like, this was such a bad PR move on their part. Like, they gotta take all that shit down now. No, I think Cat makes a lot of sense. A report came out. I don't know if you guys saw it, that DiVincenzo was very unhappy with his role.
He was going to be the odd man out.
He was going to go back to the bench, like when RJ was there. So I think that was the right move. It works for the Timberwolves weren't going to be able to keep Naz Reid or Alexander Walker if they had kept Cat because they have to pay him $220 million. Cat's back with his hometown team. it gives them a stretch big that's not going to take the ball and try to run an ISO by himself, and is also going to give them a stretch big that if he misses 2 shots, he's not going to start throwing up 100 shots. I love Julius Randle. He was one of my favorite Knicks. I've met him a bunch. He used to come into my grocery store to shop. So my boss is more mad that we're losing a rich customer, than we are a player on his favorite
Then they
team.
are losing a 25 point per game score. That's funny.
Bro, it was so obvious it was him too. You try to not admit it, but he's 6'9". Like, what are you gonna do? and
He looks like
no,
Julius Randle.
I'm not gonna say nothing because the last time the Knicks made a trade, I went on a giant rant to Joe about how I hated the trade, and it came out very well.
Yeah,
With
by a
the
landslide.
yeah, even though they tried to give up tranquilizers before the game in the playoffs.
I was like, dude, calm down. This is an amazing deal for you guys. He's like, I'm so pissed. And then
No, I'm a big Cat fan. I used to rebound for him when I worked at Hoop Group, so I'm a big Cat fan. So I'm excited to see what the Knicks are gonna do. I hate that the Nova Knicks had like a 1 week window and they didn't even get to play together. But
Yeah, I saw a meme that
nonetheless,
said Nova Knicks, July 2024 to September 2024.
if it means anything, just really quick so we can get back on track here. If it means anything, the only 3 guys that actually show up on that podcast are Mikhail, Josh Hart, and then Jalen. So, Dante never really was in the group, so
he went on like once or twice, but no, I found out at midnight. I woke up at midnight, saw that, thought it was like a weird lucid dream I had, went back to sleep, and I checked it again at 3 a.m, saw it, and then I woke Lydia up to tell her, and she yelled at me because Julius Randle's her favorite Knick.
it'll be
Well, that's
okay.
what you get for waking her up in the middle of the night, man.
Yeah, she was more mad about Randle than me waking her up, but
All right. So let's get back to a little football talk. We're going to take a look at a little Flex Mary Hill. So first up is going to be our running backs. So we've got Chuba Hubbard, Rashad White, and Carson, don't call me Chris Steele.
That's funny. White's not going to play today. He's out, I think. Or no, never mind. I think I just saw Shefty.
he's losing his touches anyway. Bucky Irving's going to be the starter next year.
Yeah, but
Like,
you're
I'm
not
calling
gonna,
that now.
You're marrying Chuba Hubbard. You're flexing Rashad White. You're not playing Chris Steele. Chris Steele falls when he gets breathed on. Stop it. It's cool because he's undrafted and Chris Collinsworth every time he got a ball. He's like, look at this guy, Mike. Look at his long hair. This Chris Steele guy. Let me tell you, here's a guy who's just got long blonde hair and he's went undrafted and he played
Like a
in
blonde
Antarctica
Patrick
or something.
Mahomes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so no, stop with I know he's on here. DJ didn't put him on here just because he's a Chief. But just we need the Carson Steele stuff. Every game he's in there and he gets a touch, people are like, "Oh, Carson Steele!" No, stop it. Watch, he'll have 30 points today. All right, I'm done.
I'm gonna flex Chuba. I'm gonna marry Carson Steele just to make it funnier for Joe's rant.
He's gonna go off today.
I just am not a big fan of Rashad White. He seems like that running back that he got lucky last year hitting a lot of deep runs. He just hasn't impressed me this year. And the way Bucky Irving's been playing, like I said, his role is going to be slowly diminished. So I'm gonna kill off Rashad White there.
I don't like Rashad White at all either. It's just that Carson Steele is a gimmick that the Chiefs are trying because they're freaking bored, man. The league has become too easy.
He still gets more touches a game. That's why. He's still going to get more touches.
I know. I'm just saying. Look at this undrafted white dude who's kind of our fullback, kind of not, who's got long hair. Everyone's going to think it's funny. He looks like Thor / a lumberjack. They're bored. They're playing on easy mode. So it's a gimmick. It's just
when the refs are on your side, you can afford it.
Ooh, spicy. Sorry. Go ahead. Next.
Next. All right. Next up, we have our wide receivers of Stephon Diggs, Jackson Smith in Jigba, and Terry McLaurin.
Danny, what do you think?
I'm gonna flex
This is
Diggs.
tough.
I'm gonna marry JSN, and I'm gonna kill off McLaurin. I think Njigba's gonna be. I think they're gonna be more of a two-headed snake this year. Diggs has really kind of shown out in this offense now that there's two other receivers around him that you have to guard tightly. I don't think he's going to be putting up the numbers he did like his first year in Buffalo fantasy wise this year for the rest of the season, but I think he's still good for like 60, 70 yards and a touchdown.
I'm going to agree with Danny on this one but look at it as a different aspect. I think people are going to look at last week with McLaurin and everyone's losing their mind. Like Jaden Daniels had like the greatest performance in NFL history. And yes, he was good. It was great. I enjoyed it. It was fun. But everyone's losing their mind, shirt over the head, rubbing their nipples like Jaden Daniels is the next Michael Vick. Calm down. Terry McLaurin was great last week, but I think we have seen through 3 weeks now, that I think his fantasy production might be a little hit or miss because Jaden Daniels is feast or famine on deep balls and how their offense really works. And they were able to hit a couple to McLaurin last week. Will that happen each week? Because McLaurin had like 6 total points in the first 2 games combined. So that's why I would say no to McLaurin. Even though I think McLaurin's really good, it's just, if he's going to pop off at once a month, then yeah.
Side note, just because I saw when you were talking about Roshan Johnson, him to score a touchdown is plus 350 right now.
I think I would take it.
All right. On the tight end side, we have Pat Freiermuth, Isaiah Likely, Mike Gesicki. I don't like any of that.
Yeah, it's tough. Mary Gesicki, flex Freiermuth, kill Likely. Not as bad as I thought it would be.
How dare you? How dare
What?
you? No.
Dare what?
Flex Likely because Mark Andrews, I think they forgot he was on the team.
No, he had tightrope surgery, broke his leg last year in November.
Yeah, I know.
He's not healthy.
They didn't give him a single target last week, and they're still starting him. Likely is playing great. He's got a bigger role in the offense. Last year, he did good as that second. I like Likely. I think he's a stud. I think he's going to be – I'm not saying he's top 5 tight end, but I think he has the potential – like his ceiling this year is to finish tight end 10, tight end like 12.
How many targets do you think he's had since the Chiefs game? Targets, not catches, targets.
10.
He's had 4. He had one more target than you, me, and Doug combined last week. I'm not saying Likely's not good. I'm just saying the Chiefs game is the best. We have already seen the best Isaiah Likely game. I'm not
saying he's going to go off for another one. But
but I'm just saying.
I think in the long term, Likely is a better option than Gesicki, and I like Gesicki. Gesicki only got his targets because there was no Jamar Chase and no T. Higgins week 1. There was almost no T. Higgins the last 2 weeks. That's why I don't like Gesicki, because why do you think tight ends have been rotating in Cincinnati for the last 4 years? Burrow does not throw to tight ends.
He did still have Gesicki last week with Higgins back, and I know Higgins didn't get a bunch of looks. He still did have 4 catches, 5 targets, 50 yards, 10 PPR points. Likely has had 4 total targets since
you and I both know last week was
Lamar
an outlier game.
Since he looked like Gronk against the Chiefs.
Neither team could get a stop, and that's
I know. I'm just saying.
But T. Higgins is back fully healthy. I think T. Higgins is gonna have a great game today. I don't see Gesicki in the long run being worth keeping on your team unless you're desperate and you have to play a tight end.
I think that's a
Fryermuth
fair
isn't that
take.
weird where you could put him in any single spot because 1 week Tomlin throws the ball to him 100 times. 1 week he's only there to block, and then 1 week he's got the option availability, but the quarterback sucks.
Correct. Yeah, exactly.
Which is why I'll trust Likely because he is the best quarterback out of those three.
Which is fair. I just want to preface the people so that they know that Isaiah Likely is going to be riding. It's going to be week 12, and we're going to be like, should we start Isaiah Likely? Well, he hasn't had a game over 8 points since week 1, but you know what? Let's throw him out there. I just want people to say, preface that's where we are currently at with him. Now, yeah, he probably, maybe they eventually just shut Andrews down. I don't know because, I mean, he was like their third tight end last week.
His projections this week, 50 yards, 4 catches, has a 75% chance of scoring a receiving touchdown, and is projected to have at least a 20-yard catch this week.
That's for Likely?
That's for Likely.
This is where I get on my games being played on clipboards thing. I will believe it when I see it. Again, 4 total targets since week 1.
For what it's worth, I'm watching ESPN over here on the side. They have Gesicki as the tight end 6 this week.
Yeah, they're playing Carolina. I mean, listen, again, with Higgins back, his workload will probably go down. Like, his best game was against the Chiefs, and he probably won't come. That was Gesicki's probably best game of the year. I just think Likely is in conversations because he went nuclear in week 1, and he's gotten a third of the targets he saw in that game combined through the last 2 games. And Lamar, like, they're figuring out, they're starting to kind of figure out what they are now. More and more as the season goes on. And I just don't think, unless Andrews finally is out, then maybe I would be like, all right, you can, play him.
Right, but the thing with the Bills, they've given up the 3rd most receptions and receiving yards to tight ends this season. That's gonna be my big thing. We saw, what was it? Strange got caught every single one of his targets. You had week 2, I don't even know who. I don't think anyone was doing anything for the Dolphins, but that was when, and then week 1 we saw Trey McBride play a good game, get 5-6 targets. I'm not, like I said, in a PPR, I'm not saying Likely's going to go off for another even 50-yard game, but I can guarantee you he's going to get at least 3 catches because if they don't run him deep, he's running a 3-yard curl.
All right, ESPN is Likely number 5. We're going to hit a question and then we'll hit the break. So, JT, half-point PPR, pick 1 running back and 1 flex. Swift, Allen, Johnson, Pickens, Shaheed, Tucker, and Adunze.
Man, do not play Swift. Throw him to the gulag. Oh my gosh. Tucker. Who's Tucker? Justin Tucker? LOL. I'm kidding.
No, it's one of the guys on the Raiders.
Oh, well, don't play one of them. I mean,
I can't remember if he's a running back or wide receiver.
Their quarterbacks are Larry King and Don King and hell, even
I'm
Martin Luther King.
gonna go Braylon Allen and Shaheed this week.
Oh man, Roshan and the Steelers are beating the Colts. Pickens, Roshan and Pickens.
I thought you were going to go full Bears there, Joe.
No, because Adunze could have a good game, but Keenan's back today, so I want to see how how the target share with him will look with Keenan back in the lineup.
Yeah, give me Roshan and Pickens. I'll take the middle of that batch. All right, that will take us to this commercial break. I have no idea what's on the other side of this. I'm just going to play a commercial, and we'll see what happens afterwards.
When you're working to achieve your financial goals, it helps to have some trusted guidance along the way. Jared Zook with Country Financial is here to help you identify your goals and provide more support to work through any changes life may bring. As both a financial advisor of Country Trust Bank and registered representative of Country Capital Management Company, Jared can help you plan for your financial future. As a Country Financial insurance agent, he's prepared to help you with insurance options to protect the people and the things that matter most. Jared is there to support you as you plan for the future and to help you worry less and live more. Jared is licensed to insure in Arizona, Colorado, Illinois, Iowa, Indiana, Kansas, Missouri, and Tennessee. Call Jared today at 217-698-0599 or find him on Facebook at Jared Zook Financial Representative and tell him For Frequency's Sake sent you.
All righty. Doesn't look like we're getting a Brian portion today. So we are going to, shout out Chris Steele. We're going to hit an break glass in case of emergency segment. So we're going to play a little over-under based upon the revenge week this week. So we've got like 4 revenge games going on.
Good job, DJ. This is great thinking.
Not bad considering I hit him up with this at like 9:30, 9:45. So first up, Andy Dalton, 219.5 passing yards versus the Bengals.
I'm
Hammering the over.
I'm assuming these are actually their Vegas lines. I'm assuming.
That's
I'll
usually
check.
where you get that kind of stuff, yeah.
Unless DJ just has like a projection, like DJ in his basement just has like a projection model.
DJ is actually Pinnacle. That's what this is.
Yeah.
DJ is actually the Pinnacle.
DJ
That's why-
is AI. Jarvis AI, baby.
He definitely did this before because Andy Dalton's line is at 230 now.
My brain just Jarvis from the, we already made an Avengers joke. Jarvis, his last name's Jarvis. AI already. Oh, sorry. I would still go over 230. Probably over.
Yeah.
Bengals defense is bad. That game is going to be.
If only this was played in Cincinnati, that would be fun. That would be more fun than playing in Carolina. Because no one's going to be there because everyone is stuck in their house right now.
Correct. Yeah.
I'll still go over on that. I think it's going to stay close enough that they're going to have to make Andy Dalton throw the ball the whole fourth quarter.
I just don't see it. I don't see the Red Rifle doing anything like that. So I'm going to take the under on that.
Wow. A hater.
I am a hater. All right. Aaron Jones, 82.5 rushing and receiving yards versus Green Bay.
I'll go over on that. Maybe not. Yeah. Combined, I'd definitely go over. If it was just rushing, I'd be like,
It's at
But
85
combined-
now.
But, combined, I'd still go over. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll mainly off of the passing yards is what I'm kind of looking at for this one. The Green Bay is one of those weird teams for me every year where like I can never get a read if they're going to be good or not defensively. I'm looking at their stats right now. Aaron Jones has the second most targets on the team and the most red zone targets, and he's got 53% of the runs right now. But the thing is, Green Bay is giving up their top 10 in rushing defense, but they're giving up 50 yards a game to receiving. So, I talked myself into it. I'll give it to them just because I know they're going to run a bunch of screen routes.
Yeah,
You're gonna have
I'll take the
Jettas
over on
versus
that. I
Jair.
don't think it's a high over. I think we're looking at like 85 there.
That's where
all
his
you
line's
need.
at right now.
85.5 or 84.5?
84.5 is the best one I could find. 85 is the consensus.
Okay. All right, next up, Amari Cooper, 55.5 versus the Raiders.
It depends on if Deshaun got a massage before the game.
Shit.
Yeah, his line actually dropped. It's at 53.
I'm going to go under.
Oh,
Is that the most consensus I want nothing to do with you game on the day today? Like, I don't want to think about that game. I don't want to, even though it is our first loser leaves town game of the season.
It's
loser
funny
leaves town
because
match.
it's the third worst passing offense versus the third worst passing defense.
That is the game where the
Something's
NFL
got to
will track-
give. What?
The NFL will track 30 teams for that 3 hours, and then it'll go back to 32 afterwards.
Exactly, yeah. Just all the
Yeah,
unspeakable things.
I'll say over just because like who's he gonna throw to in this case? Like they're gonna force Amari Cooper try to beat him.
All right. Last but certainly least, Jonnu Smith, 14.5 receiving yards versus Tennessee. I think Joe got 14.5 yards last week.
Exactly. DJ had to dig for this one.
With my Kyle Pitts love-hate affair from last year and Jonnu Smith merching all his touchdowns, even throwing one to him last year. I'm gonna go under here. I think it's a third string quarterback. They're gonna force the ball to Tyreek and Jalen.
Under. That's all I have to say. Dolphins are very uninspiring. I am excited that Snoop Huntley's playing instead of Skylar Thompson. So makes me think that they're not just actively giving up on the year, even though they probably should.
Yes.
More questions.
Yes. Let's hit a couple of
Shout out to all you folks. Where are we even at? Because there's some good ones I saw.
Yeah. We'll get to them. We're just taking them in order.
I know.
All right.
I was just scrolling up to see where we were.
Steven Grease? Don't know. Steven, need help with the second flex spot, full PPR? Carson, don't call me Chris Steele or Lad McConkey.
Joe, don't go on another rant. Just say it quick.
No, I'm good. I hope Steven was dialed for that. Lad. Big bad Lad. Although is Justin Herbert playing today?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Fantastic. Awesome. Cool. Lad McConkey, baby. Big bad Lad. Give it to me.
You just got to love the name of Lad McConkey.
Yeah.
It's just fun to say.
Shout out to that guy.
Here's the game.
That's the first time we've ever been asked a question who to start between two white skill guys.
I think so. And then
that has to be someone give us an award.
Steven, you'll have a plaque in the mail next week.
Yeah, you're yeah.
All right. Bryce wants to know at the flex, Olave, Ayuk, Perry, or Rashad White. And Olave, according to Sleeper that I just got the notification, is playing today. Is healthy.
This is the second Ayuk question we've gotten today. Is he playing too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm a dumbass. Maybe I should retract all my Juwan Jennings statements. Then Ayuk. Yeah, play Ayuk.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Ayuk. Part of me wants Olave, but that Falcons defense is too good. I think Taysom Hill's gonna have a game today if you have him.
Who would have thought that we would have said that a month ago? The Falcons defense actually good.
Nobody. Absolutely nobody. And I'm the part of Danny that wants the Olave. So I will take Olave.
There we go.
All right. And last up, we're for Kyle Singer.
Our boy. We got into a pseudo
PPR.
fight last week. Me, him, and who was it? Was it me, him, and DJ, or was it me, him, and Danny? We were going back and forth with this guy last week.
Yeah. But he sends love anyway.
Or no, DJ wasn't on the show last week. But yeah, no, we were talking. It was good. This is Cal's a homie. Forder ETN full PPR. Oh my gosh. Cover your eyes, brother. Hope Roshan Johnson's on your waivers. ETN.
I'm going forward. There's no Max Crosby. Their defense is like absolutely gutted right now. I don't know anyone. You couldn't pay me to name or even look up the name of someone in their defensive backs right now. Yeah, they have the full injury list hasn't been reported, but they already said Max Crosby isn't playing this week. That alone,
they're missing a bunch of dudes.
Deshaun Watson is. Chubb's coming back in about a week or two. Ford's fighting for a job right now. He's going to go off.
Yeah, that's probably the right play. I think I agree with that.
All right. That will take us to the top of the hour. We're going to play our commercial from our favorite tattoo artist, and then we will turn the floor over to Joe and watch him do his thing.
My name's Ryan Allison. I've spent over a decade immersed in the art of tattooing. Sharply honing my skills has materialized into a diverse and prestigious body of work. Each tattoo reflects my relentless pursuit of excellence, and every client I work with is a living embodiment of that unwavering commitment. I will gladly and wholeheartedly embrace your distinct vision.
Joseph, the floor is yours.
Holy Christ. Sorry, just how many? Danny, pull up live lines for where we're at because some of these numbers I got early, and some of them have changed like crazy. Holy Christmas!
What did I tell you about getting these in before?
No, you're right. It's just like I knew the Chargers one I got was early, but the other one I have here too is like I just saw that the line's 3 points off of what I thought it was. Okay, it's fine. It's okay. So these numbers are all over the freaking place, and I put these in on Friday, but we're okay. It's fine. Okay, so we're 7-11. Danny hooked us up. We're using some clipboards this week, so I'm going against my normal grain, but we feel good about this. This is the best I felt about a set, even though I feel like total and complete ass. We're going to be rocking and rolling with these today. Let's start in Carolina. I understand it's a hurricane. People are staying in their house, but do you know what's, even though it might rain a little today in Carolina and, people are swimming in the streets, probably trying to go to their local grocery store to get some bread, maybe even get it for free if you do it the right way or the wrong way. I don't know. But you know what's going to take place today in Carolina is scoring because the Panthers and the Bengals both have 2 capital B, capital bad defenses. And we are going over. I got 47.5 question mark. Maybe it lowered because of the weather. I don't know, but we got it at 47.5 to the moon over. Now, last week, the one over we took over in Eagles Saints, and there was a total of 27 points scored in that game. I wanted to die. That's not happening this week. Right now, it's 46.5 on FanDuel. Go and hit it. This game will have points. Both teams are hitting at least 24. I would like to imagine. Let's go. Let's have some fun. Moving on. I put this in, not exactly sure who was going to play quarterback, but the more and more I thought about it, Jordan Rangel, I'm sorry. It's the first official fade Sam Darnold game. The Green Bay Packers are hosting the Minnesota Vikings. This is a game Green Bay has to have. Packers, I think, are right now -2.5. The only thing that worries me is Love coming back first game. Flores is going to try to heat them up. But what gives me comfort, Jordan Love torched this defense last year in Minnesota against the blitz, and he's actually really good against the blitz. So I feel good about this. Could Minnesota still look pretty good in a loss? Absolutely. But this is a game that the Green Bay Packers absolutely have to have. Or they're going to be 2 games back in the division already. They stole 2 wins without Love. They get him back today. This is a must-win for the Packers. If Minnesota loses today, it's it was in Green Bay. No one expected them to win. Not saying that has anything to do with anything, but we are taking Green Bay minus the points in Lambeau. All right, another total. It's not that these 2 offenses suck. Well, one of the offenses sucks. The other offense is kind of meh. It's okay so far. We're going to New York. The number was much better way earlier in the week, but we still got it at a number that I'm okay with, 39.5. We're going under 39.5. Jets, Broncos, 20-17 cashes, 24 to 13, 24 to 13 cashes. So I feel good about those scores today. In that game, I think the Broncos offense will struggle. The run game isn't good, even though the Jets' run defense isn't good. The Broncos don't really run the ball well at all. Bo Nix was good last week. I don't think he will have another performance like he did 7 days ago. The Jets, even though their offense is much more efficient, they're kind of just a live in the mid-20s team. So, 24-13, 21-10 type of game in the Meadowlands. Moving on. I hate that we're doing this, and I don't even know if I would do this if the line has moved to where it is. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought it did. So I think you can kind of still play this. It was at 7. I got it at 6.5. It is now 5.5. This is an ugly one, gentlemen. But hold your nose. And we are all asking, last call on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Have they quit? Maybe. Are they playing like a team trying to get their coach fired? Very possible. But if this team has any pulse or pride for themselves, they will show up in Houston and not lay down again. This is a bet, though, this is probably a much better live betting situation. First time I've thrown this out on the show, Danny. Tell me if you agree with me. Because you can watch 2 drives in this game, and you will be able to tell whether Jacksonville and the points is the side because it'll be a competitive game, or 2 drives into the game, you will be able to tell Jacksonville said, we are out. We are done. We are ready for vacation. Get us out of the season, and you can just hammer every live betting angle you can with the Texans. But for pregame betting purposes, hold your nose, last call on the Jaguars, and just take the points. But Danny, what do you agree with me there? I think this could be, this might be the live bet darling game of the week because it will be an early tell.
If the Jaguars get the ball first and they score a touchdown, I'm going to take the Texans because I think in my head it'll probably drop down to -2.5. And I already got Jacksonville at +9 on Thursday. So I can get little middle action there with a 6-point win.
Yeah, this is like the perfect. This is by far the best live betting game of the week because it's one of the and that might be every Jags game right now for a while because the numbers are, they're still power rated in Vegas a little bit better than they maybe should be. But yeah, like hot diggity.
How long is Trevor Lawrence's leash?
It's
not his leash you got to worry about. It's Doug Peterson's.
It's not his. I mean, listen, he hasn't been good, but it's not his fault, man. It's just an operational disaster, an organizational disaster, and they're probably the worst coach team in the league. I can't believe Peterson didn't get fired last week. I know short week and everything, but Doug Peterson, first coach fired odds, he has to be the favorite. 2 more. This one's cheating. I got the Chargers at +8.5 early in the week. It's what, +7? +7.5.
No, it's
+7.5 on FanDuel. Herbert's playing. Take the points. Chiefs. I talked a bunch of crap about not Chris Steele. Love you, Chris Steele. Carson Steele. I've talked a bunch of crap now about the Chiefs here in a second. I'm not talking crap, but the Chiefs never cover these lines, man. They never do. Take the points. +7.5 on FanDuel at least. What did you see, Danny?
I got +6.5.
Oh wow, yeah. On FanDuel here it's 7.5.
By the way,
I would still take the points. Anything over 7, fire it.
I found all the odds for the coaches getting fired. Doug Peterson at +135.
Yeah, it's runaway favorite.
Top 5, it's Doug Peterson, Mike McCarthy, Dable, Eberflus, and Taylor.
What's Eberflus's number?
+1,000.
He won't get fired in the season. He won't get fired unless
That's true. Bears don't fire anybody during the season.
They would have to lose today and then lose to Carolina next week for him.
They have to. The bet, as long as they're fired before the first kickoff of next season, then it counts.
Oh.
Right. Yeah. Because the bet is first coach fired.
Yeah.
I think Peterson's going to be fired he will be fired by Halloween.
42% likely he'll get fired before the season ends.
Unless they miraculously pull one out of their ass today or something. But I think they'll cover. Don't think they'll win, but I think they'll cover.
Which is funny because at the beginning of the season, he was 5th best odds for coach of the year.
It's crazy, man. They've given up on him. They were about to go. It's crazy to the dude. They were running into the end zone to go up 24-7 in week 1 against Miami. Playing awesome. Javon Holland knocks the ball out of Travis Etienne's hands. They fumble. Next play, Tua hits Tyreek on that bomb, 80 yards. And then the Jags, since then, they were a yard away from going up 24-7 in week 1, playing awesome. And since that fumble from Etienne that went out of the end zone, they have come unraveled. Like, instantly. It's crazy. This is a good number. The number's gone up in our favor. Under 42.5. Patriots Niners. So yeah, love that one. Yeah, under in that game. So all in all, Panthers Bengals over, Packers laying the points, Jets Broncos under, Jags last call take the points, Chargers take the points, and Niners Patriots under. Gentlemen, thoughts? Daniel?
I like it.
Not saying it smells like 6-0, but Jesus Christmas, I hope it smells like 500 this week.
Yeah,
Brother.
getting a text from Joe Yost saying I'm done with football. After last
Bro,
week.
I went from 2-1 in our King of the Board to 0-3 in freaking 18 seconds yesterday, bro. But again, listen, the Louisville game was an L all day, right? So Danny and I for college. Sorry, I have a little zip tie thing here that I screw with during the game. It's like during the show, so it's my like fidget spinner. So like we do this King of the Board thing for college, and I had like a great week too. I went 3-0. Everything was an easy cash. But outside of that, your boy has just been getting pummeled.
Well, what's funny with it?
The Louisville game was an L. Go ahead.
What's funny with it is like I'd use my partner, the company I work with, Betalytics, for all my bets. And Joe was like, "Yeah, I'll try it out." He's like, "Yeah, can't do it. I gotta go based on gut feeling." And
I just didn't have the time.
He's
I didn't have
like,
the time for
this
college.
sucks. I can't do it. And then all my bets are hitting, and I'm just not saying a word because I don't want to piss him off.
No, I'm gonna be hammering Betalytics this week for the college picks. That's for sure, because this week I felt good about them, and we were right there. Listen, the Louisville game, whatever, they were never covering, but we had Mississippi State team total under 10.5, and Mississippi State is not good, but Texas was like half dicking around, half being nice to them because of how bad they are. They have 6 points all game, and they score late to get to 13. And the Oklahoma-Auburn under we're covering all game, and then Payne Thorne decides to throw a pick six, which you're still under, and then Auburn goes 4-out in their own territory, and Oklahoma kicks a pointless, stupid field goal with 40 seconds left to cash the over. I wanted to die. I wanted to jump into the Mississippi River, but instead of it being water, I wanted it to be battery acid. I was so mad. We went from 2-1 to 0-3 in 2 minutes. I'm like, are you kidding? This is so stupid.
Let me get to mine before we run out of time. So we have 4 bets today that I absolutely love. We got my play of the day and 3 anytime touchdown guys. And before I get into them real quick, I did want to say, so some of you may not know, my family lives in Northwest North Carolina, where the hurricane has been hitting, because no one there is prepared. We're not really prepared for that kind of weather to hit us. My family is luckily safe, but I have a lot of friends that I have still not heard from in the last week and a half, because there's no cell signal anywhere in the mountains right now. Everything is closed off with that. And I can't go down there to help them because everything is closed off. So with that being said, what we're doing this week for our Gotham Gambling is we are giving away our VIP for the highest we've ever given it, 50% off for a month membership. All proceeds, all people who subscribe within the next 2 weeks, all the money will go to help the families who are having to be rehomed, who have lost everything, who have had family members die in Northwestern North Carolina. The link is right here in the comments. You guys can click this link, go get every single one of our plays. And once again, all the profit we're going to make this week gambling and all the profit from Euro subscriptions are going to go to help those families. So make sure you guys join in if you can, or if you guys want to donate anything that I can send over to them and we can give out to Salvation Army and a lot of these great organizations. Shoot me a DM. We'll get something worked out for you guys. But with that being said, let's talk some fucking football. Had to drop the one F-bomb. Play of the day. We are going Saquon Barkley over 103.5 rushing plus receiving yards. This line is high, but it is my favorite line of the day. It's my favorite play of the day. Every other book but FanDuel has this over 107 right now. I caught it at 103 this morning. I think it's still around that line. Here's why. No Devontae, no AJ Brown. He's going to get an extra 10% target share just this week alone. He's already their third most targeted player. He has 11% of the targets this season. We saw it last week when the passing game's not working. They're giving it to him, and they're making you get tired by beating you down with this run game. So I absolutely love this here today, where he's going against a team that we just saw Bo Nix run a touchdown in against. Tampa's given up 15th most rushing yards per game. They're giving up about 86 rushing yards a game, but they're giving up 70 receiving yards per game to running backs. That is the worst mark in the league. He's projected at like 110, so I'm taking this all the way up to 110. So I'm hammering Saquon this week. I'm big on him in this offense. I think he's going to absolutely dominate. I think he's going to finish RB1 this week. And our 3 anytime touchdown bets we got this week. First one we're going with is in Cincinnati. Like Joe said in the over, I'm going T. Higgins this week. The depth of or the value over average for receivers against Carolina, wide receiver 1 is like 18th in the league. Wide receiver 2 is the best mark in the league. JC Horn is going to try to lock down Jamar Chase, which is going to leave T. Higgins wide open. Hasn't scored a touchdown yet. They're going to feed him the ball. He's going to get one this week. I'm taking him I got it at plus 185. Best odds have him at plus 200 is where he should be projected at. We're also going to take Rashee Rice in the 4:00 game. He's easy target because, as I said earlier in the show, they're going to target Kelsey. They're going to try to stop him. Rashee Rice has been majority of the passing game, so I would not be surprised if he scores another one here today. And Joe, you actually talked me into this last one here. I actually a little bit talking myself into it. If Deontay Johnson does not play, I'm taking Tommy Tremble to score a touchdown at plus 350. I love Tremble here today. I think it's a good target. He played 85% of the snaps last week. And when Dalton wasn't throwing to Johnson, the ball was going to Leggett and Tommy Tremble. They're going to focus on the wide receivers. They're going to let the tight ends run. We saw Zach Ertz have a good game last week against this team. I'm taking them easy money. But other than that, that's it. We have 10 more plays over on Dub Club. We're going to post a couple plays for tonight, and we're going to do another giveaway on Sunday Night Football tonight. So make sure you guys subscribe over at Gotham Gambling. And let's go have a day, everyone.
All righty. That will take us. Actually, let's do a couple of questions before we jump into the next segment, before we get a bunch of questions. All right. So let's get a quick preview. All right. So we'll start here with Jace. Jace Kirchner, Debo or Josh Jacobs at flex?
Give me Jacobs. He's got 50% of the touches, whether it's passing or rushing. They're going to give him the ball and hammer him down.
I agree. I think, Jacobs is a safer play there for sure.
All right. And then first one up for our main man, Jordan. Joe, we'll let you kick this one off. This seems to be in your wheelhouse.
It is. Is Jalen Waddle still startable? No, not right now. You just got to wait to see, really. But I don't think so. Unfortunately, it sucks, but might be a little bit better with Huntley in. But again, I wouldn't start him this week. I think you just got to wait to see. Like if he has a better game this week and gets more targets, then I think then you can kind of lean more into like, okay, but right now, no, he's not.
Okay. Dating, do you want to dispense?
Let me see if I'm playing Jordan this week before I answer this question. Okay, no, I'm not.
If he's playing,
I'm just not trusting anyone this week in the Dolphins offense, which just reminded me half my team is hurt and I need to find a player last minute.
Yeah, I've got a couple of leagues where
guys, who should I start?
I don't want to drop anybody. All right. And I beat Jordan last week in the staff league, and I think that's the first time that's ever happened. So shout out to me.
Doug's name in the staff league is spectacular, by the way. Should I tell the people?
Go for it.
His name, because I'm playing him today. His name, Danny, in our staff league is Go Fourth Down on Me. Oh my God, Doug, you dirty boy. All right.
That's me. All right. We're going to hit a couple commercials. We'll finish off the questions and the show on the other side. Once I find the right button.
You from the West, the podcast covering Illinois high school football. Weekly analysis and reaction from around the western side of the state of Illinois.
This is the game we had circled when the year started.
Follow along on YouTube and Twitter, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
It's big-time football out there tonight, and I know we can play big-time football.
You from the West, we got you covered.
Do you love everything sports? So do we. That's why we shop at Atomic Sports Cards and Collectibles. Atomic has everything you could ever want to blow up your collections. They have sports cards ranging from the 1980s to today, whether it's singles, wax packs, hangers, or boxes. They've got vintage hats, clothes, and collectibles from your favorite teams to widen your collection. Check out Atomic Sports Cards and Collectibles today at 102 4th Street West, Milan, Illinois.
As somebody who was born in the 70s, the fact that he says he has everything from the 80s up through today is just slightly offensive.
That's a you problem.
I know. I'm an old man. All right. Next up, where's my other? I split the Jordan Rangel questions. Where's my other Jordan Rangel question? There it is. All right. Pick two: Ridley, Jamo Williams, and Judy.
Ridley and Jamo. Is Jamo an auto start every week, or does it just? I guess.
I think at this point, like he's taken over that wide receiver 2 role.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Jamo and then Ridley.
Yeah, I don't know, but you can start Judy at this point outside of
not until they bench Deshaun.
Yeah, that stuff. All right, next up is Mike. Need one between Michael Wilson, Christian Kirk, Andrew
Yosivas,
and Waddle.
Oh man, Michael Wilson? No, wait. Yeah, Michael Wilson.
I'm gonna go on a flyer. I'm gonna go Yoshivas.
I was thinking that too, but man, I'm wondering.
Everyone but Jamar Chase will have a good game today. Is my call.
Oh, that's good.
Like I said in the thing, J.C. Horn's gonna be on Jamar Chase. They don't have anyone in the secondary besides J.C. Horn.
They don't.
And if they have, it's going to force a double on Higgins, which is going to force open spots for Yoshivas. It's almost like when Kupp came back and Tutu Atwell would just randomly have a 70-yard game.
There you go.
All right, next up, Ryan Breiger. I'm not sure what 10M is. PPR 10-man. PPR pick 2 for their flex. Mike Evans, David Montgomery, Kenneth Walker, Jamison Williams, Chuba Hubbard, and Jordan Addison.
It's Chuba Hubbard. Take a
Chuba,
shot.
Chuba
Hubbard. Chuba Booba.
To be fair, Chuba does sound like a Carolina name for a football player.
It really does. Yeah, we're down
Chuba
here
Hubbard.
ringside with Chuba Hubbard.
Like a Mike Tolbert type player.
Chuba's Hubbard. Catfish and sea boil. Pick 2. Go ahead. You first.
I'm going to go J-Mo, Mike Evans.
Agreed, because Kenneth Walker's out today, right?
No,
they play Monday. They haven't announced inactives yet.
Oh, okay. I think it's leaning he's not going to play, though.
Because it's Detroit versus Seattle.
Awesome game. Might be the best of the weekend.
I'm be really upset if it's like 7-3.
Hey, that'd be fun, too. J-Mo and Mike Evans. Mike Evans, auto start. J-Mo, borderline auto start. But if this is like what you're going with, it's a pretty nice team. Oh, wait a minute. No. My bad. I lied. Chuba. Screw you guys. Chuba. I think Chuba over J-Mo. Because I think what he did last week is replicable. I think the rushing stuff with them, because they actually got to care about them throwing the ball now, is replicable.
Yeah.
But it's between J-Mo and Chuba for me. Anywho, next.
Disagree. All right. Big Money Joe. Not sure how my wife got an account, but here we are.
Shout out Dog's wife.
Need one running back, 2 wide receivers, and a flex with who's left. Olave, McLaurin, Godwin, Garrett, Najee, and B-Rock.
This is a pretty damn good team to have with
All right, I'm gonna
a
go
12-man league.
I'm gonna go Olave, Godwin, B-Rob, and you know how much I hate saying this, Joe. How much I shit on this man. I'm gonna go Najee this week. There's a lot of guys I'm in my gambling circle who, when they take the guys who are normally asked, they're usually right on target, and he's got Najee for a big game this week.
Yeah, Colts run defense is bad.
And it's the 1 week I have Jalen Warren and he's out.
Okay, one running back, I would say. So I'm assuming that's Brian Robinson.
Yeah.
Because
if you had that and Bijan, like, you fleeced your league.
Yeah, I know. I would say Najee at running back, 2 wide receivers, Chris Godwin and Myles Garrett. Or not Myles Garrett, I'm a dumbass. Garrett Wilson. And the flex, Chris Olave.
You're going to trust him with Surtain on him?
Yeah.
Surtain shut down everyone so far this year.
No, Surtain's incredible. I think they'll find a way to get him some looks.
I'm against you on that one. Surtain held, DK to 5 yards. He's shut everyone down this year. Mike Evans had 2 targets.
No, I think Surtain's awesome. I just, I think then take him out and play McLaurin.
Next up, Gordon Noel wants to know DK or Moss at the flex.
DK.
I'm gonna go Zach Moss.
Wow.
He's getting majority of he touches the ball on, because there's a play I'm doing with someone for him to score a touchdown. My buddy told me he gets 70% of the touches, whether it's pass or run, in the red zone. So I'm gonna go Moss.
Danny's still wrong. And ESPN is now saying that Kenneth Walker has been cleared from the injury report, for what it's worth.
Okay.
Nerd.
Noted. Nerds.
Footy University, they need to fill 3 spots. Debo, Garrett Wilson, Amari Cooper, and Alan Lazard.
So
Debo, Cooper, Lazard. Easy pick. I'm not trusting Wilson with Surtain on him this week.
I'd bench Lazard and play Wilson. Hold your nose. Now, if you're wrong,
be a man.
Be a man. Be a man. I'm a man. I'm 40. Sorry. Doug, break the tie. Who are you bet? Which jet are you benching?
Came back.
Yeah, I'm sitting Lazard.
Yeah,
Cowards.
Danny.
Cowards.
Yeah. Just know if Lazard has one catch for 8 yards today, his first catch, could be in the 4th quarter. Game's over, and Danny's going to hop in our chats, and he's going to be like, "I told you, idiots, that Lazard would cap." Yeah.
No, when Wilson doesn't get 50 yards today, I'll do that.
I know. Can't wait.
All right, just Bobby. Start one of Sutton, Yoshivas, whatever you said, in Pierce. Yoshi.
Jeez
Yoshi.
Louise. Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Here's real quick. Think of Yoshivas as Tyler Boyd.
Yeah, that's a good, or like current Tyler Lockett is where I would kind of put him. Where there's games where he's going to go off for 100. There's games where he might get 1 target.
All right. King Mason Bow. Do we like the Rams over the Bears? We always like anybody over the Bears.
Yes. Just because Doug
to
said
win
I
or
was
cover?
wrong. To win.
Mine's at 3.5 now. So Vegas either is stupid or they know something we don't. Bears are.
Sean McVay is a genius. I think he'll find a way to win this one.
I know. There's just a lot. I feel optimistic about today, oddly enough, because of all the stuff coming out about how the Bears have had all these offensive sit downs, basically trying to looking into Waldron's eyes and looking into their own eyes and be like, guys, we got to be fucking better because we have a quarterback who's awesome and we have skill guys who are awesome. Like, we have to be better. Our offensive line and our operation has to not look like high school. So I feel like today they're going to throw a lot of stuff at the wall on offense, and I think if there's a week where they actually break out and look good on offense, it could be this week. So I have a slight optimism about that.
Joe's more optimistic than I am. All right, next up.
They could also lose because McVay and Stafford are awesome. So
yeah, Nick Eddy, Zay Flowers, or Juwan Jennings.
Oh,
I'll go with hell.
Yeah, start hell.
No, I'll go Flowers here today. I have a policy. I don't take anyone that's going against a New England defense because you don't know what's going to happen.
Say Flowers, yeah. Bills defense is banged up.
Nick Eddy's back. Flowers against the Bills D or Jennings versus Wing?
Yep, that was just him confirming.
Oh, yes. Okay. All right. Dalton. Start two of Pittman, Jameson, Williams, Waddle, and D-Hop. 1 point PPR, Fields, or Purdy also.
Pittman, J-Mo, Fields.
Ooh, agreed on all three. If there was a week, start Fields just for the fact that you'll probably have more fun. And if there was a week where he finally had a huge rushing game, it'd be today.
Next up, Jacob H. Full PPR, flex Jacobs, Harris, Garrett Wilson, or Goddard in a favorable matchup with no A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith in the lineup for Philly.
If you go Goddard, the only thing you have to worry about is that they know that's the one target. But you all, you know what? I'm talking myself into it. Go Goddard. It's the Goddard Saquon show today.
Because it's either him or Najee, right?
For what?
Like in this group here, it's either him or Harris, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jacobs is gonna get he's gonna give you a 15-point game. It's just gonna be ugly.
That's fair.
It's gonna be 60 yards, 2 touchdowns, on 2-yard runs.
Yeah, Goddard out of all of these has the most It's
gonna be that
I had 25 points potential.
Yeah, Jacobs is gonna be like that Jerome Bettis game where he had 2 yards and 4 touchdowns. It's just gonna look ugly on paper.
All right.
Should we rapid fire these?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. Jonas Steinbach, Rashid Shaheed, Jemison Williams, Keenan Allen, or Odunze Thitwan.
I'm gonna sit, as I said, take him earlier, but I'm gonna sit Shaheed.
Oh wow, so he's playing both Bears. If I'm sitting one, so he's playing. Damn it.
I'm sitting Keenan Allen because never Keenan Allen.
Yeah, I will sit. I'd sit Odunze.
All right, next up, Debo, Ford, or Shakir for Sam.
Ford and Shakir.
Agreed. Yes, Ford and Shakir.
Okay. Alex says, start George Pickens. And what do I do about starting Roshan from the Bears? Depends on who else you have on your roster.
I would say they're both. I'd say they're both good starts this week, though.
I think Roshan Johnson's worth starting, unless you have I think I picked up Roshan in a league, but I also have Jordan Mason and James Conner and Kyron Williams. So I don't think if that's your running back room, then we can be worth sitting Roshan. But I think if you're thin there and you're questionable player versus questionable player, I think play Roshan today because I think he's gonna get a lot of work.
All right, next up, Kittle or Goddard, full PPR.
Goddard.
Goddard, yes.
Okay. Will DJ get a win in the staff league this year? Let's hope not.
He's 0-6 combined in the staff league and the Grim Reaper league. But he's also the Grim Reaper in the Grim Reaper League, so that is tough to navigate.
All right, CD Smitty, start one. Flex, Dobbins, Ford, Odunze, Edson, and Pittman.
Ford.
Yes. Ford.
I might have said Pittman, but that's just me. And last,
Well, you're
but not
wrong,
least-
Doug.
Steelers
Man.
defense, I don't know, man.
All right. Trivia. Start 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. Jacoby, Higgins, Mason, Braylon, and Rome.
2 wide receivers, 1 flex.
Give me Higgins and Rome and Jordan Mason.
Yep.
He's gonna get 50% of the touches.
Mason's almost also an auto start each week too.
That man's gonna
see.
get a big paycheck next year.
Someone, he will probably. Yeah, Mason, Higgins, Rome, out of that group. Yeah.
All right. That is the list. We want to thank everybody who has submitted questions today. Thank you all for doing that. Make sure that you are checking back in with us next week. We will run through all of these things. We want to, again, thank our sponsors, Clint's Draft House, Jared Zook Country Financial, Durham Remodeling, and Ryan Allison Tattoo. Make sure that you're catching in with Joe tonight and tomorrow and Thursday and this 1,700 days a week that he's on. Other than that, we will see y'all next week. Thanks for popping by, and good luck on your games today.